Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into the really dynamic world of esports entrepreneurship.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a bunch of material here, articles on, starting and growing esports businesses, some stuff on esports education programs, future trends, team building, even work enjoyment.
Right. And our mission really is to pull out the key insights from all this for anyone, just trying to understand the business side of esports.
From getting started to making it a successful, maybe even enjoyable place to work.
Exactly. We want to give you a good map of the landscape.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the basics, laying the foundation. Our sources really hammer home the incredible growth here.
Oh, definitely. It's phenomenal. We're talking massive audiences, like hundreds of millions globally.
Which means serious revenue potential, right? From
Yeah.
merchandise, live events, subscriptions.
Yeah, and the scale is just huge. That League of Legends World Championship in 2019, the sources say over 100 million unique viewers.
Wow. That's staggering. It shows the market is definitely there.
And it's not just about owning a team either. That's maybe the most visible part, but there's so much more.
Like what specifically?
Well, event organization, for one. Running tournaments takes careful planning and execution.
Okay.
Then you have streaming platforms catering specifically to esports. Huge demand there.
And content creation, I guess. Like videos, articles.
Exactly. Covering trends, news, analysis. It all feeds the ecosystem.
It feels like it all connects, doesn't it? Good content drives viewers to streams, which boosts interest in events and teams.
Precisely. And something else that comes up is nurturing talent, building communities. It's not just about the business side.
You mean like the big organizations, Team Liquid, Cloud9, they have training facilities, coaching?
Right. It's an investment in the long term, building loyalty, developing players. It's foundational.
Okay, so the growth is huge, the opportunity is diverse. What about the overall market trends? How fast is this thing really moving?
Well, the sources point to exponential growth. One report mentioned, I think it was Newzoo's 2021 report, expected it to hit like $1.1 billion that year, with nearly 500 million viewers.
500 million. That's just massive.
Yeah.
It's definitely not niche anymore.
Not at all. And the drivers? Well, better tech, obviously, faster internet. That's basic.
Makes sense.
But also things like VR and AR are starting to pop up, promising, more immersive experiences down the line.
And the games themselves, right? League of Legends, Fortnite, they're global phenomena.
Absolutely. They're cultural forces. And that draws in mainstream attention. Big brands are noticing.
Yeah, sponsorships from companies like Coca-Cola, Intel, Red Bull.
Yeah.
You see them everywhere now.
And even traditional sports teams getting involved, like the Golden State Warriors, Paris Saint-Germain. They have esports divisions.
That's a huge sign of legitimacy, isn't it?
It really is. And it fuels infrastructure development, dedicated arenas, proper training facilities.
Plus, you've got all these streamers and influencers on Twitch, YouTube gaming. They're a massive part of the culture.
Undeniably, they drive so much engagement. So, okay, if you're looking to jump in, how do you pick your path, your business model?
That seems like the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
What are the main options the sources lay out?
Well, there's team ownership, like we mentioned, managing pro teams. Fnatic is a classic example.
Okay, the high-profile route.
Right. Or you could go into event organization. Think Intel Extreme Masters, hosting competitions.
It sounds complex.
It is. Then there's content creation, building an audience like, say, Pokimane. Or esports merchandise, creating and selling branded gear. Or even coaching and training services. Think skill capped.
So quite a few different angles. How do you choose?
That's the key. It really comes down to you. What are you passionate about? What skills do you actually have? And, crucially, what resources, time, money can you commit?
So self-assessment is critical. Don't just jump at the flashiest option.
Exactly. Team ownership sounds glamorous, but the management, the finances, it's intense.
Okay, so you've got an idea, maybe a niche in mind. What's next? Building the foundation.
Yeah, the business plan, you absolutely need one. First step. Define your goals. What are you actually trying to achieve? Start a team. Run tournaments.
Yeah.
Sell merch. Be specific.
Got it. Clear objectives. Then what?
Market research. Deep dive time. If it's tournaments, look at what's already out there. Formats, audiences, what works, what doesn't. Understand the competition.
Know the playing field.
Right. And then identify your target audience. Who are they? Hardcore fans, casual viewers, fans of a specific game. Knowing their preferences is vital.
Because that shapes everything else.
Pretty much. Especially your marketing and promotion strategy. How will you reach them? Social media, influencers, local events. It needs a plan.
And the money side.
Absolutely crucial. A detailed financial plan. Startup costs, how you'll make money, sponsorships, tickets, merch sales, and what your operating expenses will be. Player salaries, marketing budgets, all of it.
That financial blueprint sounds non-negotiable, especially for getting funding. What are the options there?
Our sources list quite a few. Personal savings is one route. You keep control, but it's high risk personally.
Yeah, betting your own money.
Then there's friends and family. Can be great for early cash, but you have to keep it professional. Clear terms, communication.
Avoid awkward Thanksgiving dinners.
Exactly. Crowdfunding is another one. Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Good for reaching lots of people, building buzz.
What about more traditional investment?
Angel investors.
Yeah.
They bring cash, often mentorship too, but they'll want equity.
A piece of the pie.
Yep. Venture capital, similar deal. Usually for startups with really high growth potential, you'll give up some control. You should also look into grants or sponsorships specific to the esports industry. Sometimes there are programs.
Okay.
And of course, traditional business loans if you've got a solid plan and good credit. Finally, incubators and accelerators can offer funding plus resources, mentorship, networking, a whole package.
Wow. Okay. Lots to consider. The key seems to be matching the funding strategy to your long-term vision.
Absolutely. It's not one size fits all.
All right, let's say you're building a team. How do you find the right players? Recruitment must be tough.
It starts with knowing exactly what you need. Which game, what skill level, what specific roles. Like in League of Legends, you need a top laner, jungler, mid, bot, support, very defined roles.
Like traditional sports positions. So how do you find them?
You need a recruitment plan. Write clear job descriptions, what skills, what qualifications, even for coaches. Then network like crazy. Online forums, social media groups, talk to people.
Get embedded in the community.
Yes. And go to events. Local tournaments are great for scouting talent firsthand. See how they play under pressure.
Makes sense. And when you find potentials?
Thorough interviews, structured tryouts, assess their skills, sure, but also teamwork, communication. How do they fit?
Culture fit is important then.
Hugely. You want good communicators, adaptable people, positive attitudes. A team isn't just individual skill.
Right. And compensation.
Got to be competitive. Salaries, maybe prize money share, sponsorship opportunities. You need to attract and keep good talent.
And it's ongoing, right? Evaluating performance.
Constantly. Always looking to improve.
Okay, team assembled. Now branding. How do you build a brand that stands out in this crowded space?
First, define your identity. Mission, vision, values. What do you stand for? What makes you different?
Know yourself first.
Then know your audience. Who are you talking to? Young gamers? Hardcore fans? Tailor your message.
Okay, identity and audience. Then what? The practical stuff.
Develop the visuals, strong logo, good website design, and a consistent brand voice across everything you do.
Be recognizable.
And be present. Build that online presence. Social media, website, content marketing, blogs, videos, whatever fits. Engage people.
Influencer marketing comes up a lot too.
Yeah, it's powerful in esports. Collaborating with popular streamers can give you instant reach.
But it's not just broadcasting, right? Engagement.
Crucial. Talk back. Respond to comments. Run giveaways. Host fan events. Build that community.
And track how it's working.
Always. Measure your marketing. Website traffic, social media engagement. See what resonates, what doesn't, and adjust.
Branding and revenue seem tightly linked. How do these ventures actually make money?
They are. Sponsorships are huge, as we said. Teams get gear sponsors. Tournaments get big brands like beverage companies.
Okay.
Merchandise is another big one. T-shirts, hoodies, collectibles, peripherals. Fans love showing support.
I see that everywhere.
Content monetization, too. Ads on streams or videos, subscriptions on Twitch, donations from fans.
Right, the creator economy model.
And influencers often have their own merch lines. Plus, brand collaborations like a peripheral company partnering with a team or an energy drink sponsoring an event series. Lots of partnerships.
So a mix of direct fan support and corporate deals. What about the tech needed to run all this?
Yeah, the backbone. You need high-performance gaming PCs, obviously. Good monitors, keyboards, mice, headsets. That's baseline for players.
The gear.
And rock-solid network infrastructure. Low latency is everything. Routers, switches. It has to be reliable.
No lag.
Definitely no lag. If you're streaming or broadcasting, you need pro cameras, mics, audio mixers, capture cards, maybe green screens, good streaming software.
Production value.
Exactly. And for managing teams, there's software now for scheduling, communication, even performance analysis. Tools like TeamSnap, but esports-specific ones too.
It sounds like potentially a big investment, depending on what you're doing.
It can be, yeah. Scales with your ambition.
Okay, switching gears to event organization. How do you manage that complex process?
First, what's the goal? Who's the audience? Casual fun or serious pros? That shapes everything.
Got it. Then the venue.
Crucial. Needs the right size, location, amenities, and importantly, the technical capacity. Power, internet.
Logistics.
Big time. Then partnerships, sponsors, teams, game publishers. You need good relationships.
Makes sense. What else?
A detailed schedule is essential. Registration deadlines, match times, awards. Clarity is key.
Communication, too, I bet.
Absolutely. Use social media, email, a dedicated website to keep everyone informed.
And technology plays a role here, too.
For sure. Tournament management software, online registration, live streaming tools. Things like Smash.gg help a lot.
And the day itself.
Needs a well-trained team, clear roles, and backup plans for when things inevitably go sideways.
Murphy's Law.
Pretty much. And afterwards, gather feedback. Always look to improve for the next one.
Esports is still pretty new, relatively speaking. What about the legal side? Regulations.
Yeah, that's a really important area, and it's still evolving. You need to understand intellectual property protecting logos, names, content, trademarks, copyrights.
Okay, standard business stuff.
Mostly. But then you have player contracts, sponsor agreements, event contracts. They need to be solid.
Rudder-tight agreements.
And then there's esports gambling regulations. That varies wildly depending on where you are. Some places it's fine, others heavily restricted or illegal. You have to know the rules.
Compliance is key.
And labor laws. Minimum wage, working hours, safety, especially with players who might be young.
Duty of care.
Definitely. Plus, you need to stay updated on things like match-fixing rules, anti-doping policies, player welfare initiatives. It's constantly changing.
Sounds like you must need a specialist lawyer.
It often helps. Honestly, getting contracts right is fundamental.
Given how fast everything changes, new games, updates, strategies,
How do you stay competitive?
continuous learning. You just have to adapt. Stay on top of new games, meta shifts, understand what players are doing, what fans want.
Keep your finger on the pulse.
Exactly. Learn from the experts.
Yeah.
Go to conferences, workshops, follow the thought leaders. People like Andy Din. See what they're doing.
Soak up knowledge.
And listen to feedback. Engage with your audience. Take criticism constructively. Be willing to adjust.
Don't be afraid to pivot.
Right. And use data. Track player performance, audience engagement, market trends. Analytics can give you a real edge.
It's about being agile, informed, and data-driven.
Pretty much sums it up.
We've talked a lot about the business side, but what about formal education? Are there actually, esports degrees now?
Oh, yeah, it's really taking off. Our sources mention programs popping up everywhere. In the Netherlands, for example, places like BUAs have esports game and event manager programs. They even work with companies like Nintendo. Wow, actual industry links.
Yeah, and in France, XP courses focusing on event management, marketing. In the UK, Sheffield Hallam has an esports degree, business, media skills. They even organize a live event.
That's proper hands-on experience.
Definitely. The Nordic Esports Academy in Finland runs boot camps. Germany has universities offering esports specializations within media degrees. China has training camps linked to pro teams.
What about North America?
Yep. Medill College in the U.S. has a bachelor's in esports management. Messiah University has programs. And UCI University of California, Irvine was apparently the first U.S. public university with a big official esports program, even scholarships.
So it's becoming a legitimate academic field. What do they actually teach?
It covers a lot. Event planning, media, advertising, some game design, maybe programming basics, team management, streaming skills, business models. It's pretty comprehensive, often with practical projects.
It's amazing how formalized it's becoming. Now, something slightly different, one source mentioned using video games for corporate team building. That sounds interesting.
It really does. This Belgian company, AG, worked with a group called the Liquid House to create a custom game just for their employees' team building.
A custom game? Why?
The idea was to boost team cohesion, make work more enjoyable, take people out of their usual work roles, put them in a game where nobody has prior experience.
Level the playing field.
Yeah.
So hierarchies disappear.
Kind of. It lets
Uh,
natural team dynamics emerge. Who takes charge? How do they communicate? How do they solve problems together?
you could learn a lot that way.
Apparently, yeah. The game logs tons of data, like over 10,000 data points per session, productivity, curiosity, decision-making.
Oh,
Then they discuss the findings with the team, reflect on how they work together. People apparently had aha moments about their own behavior.
that sounds way more insightful than, like, trust falls.
Well, the argument is it reveals more unconscious behavior in a team context than, say, personality tests or role-playing might. It feels more authentic.
Fascinating application. Okay, let's look at the future. What trends are shaping esports competitions and tech?
Big things on the horizon. VR is growing. Cloud gaming is making games more accessible. Streaming tech keeps getting better. AI is playing a bigger role.
So how will competitions change?
Continued growth, for sure. More advanced platforms. VR and AR could make things way more interactive, dynamic. Imagine watching inside the game world.
Immersion.
Exactly. AI could be used more in training, analyzing player performance, maybe even in commentary.
AI commentators. Interesting.
And expect more big brands, more sponsors, maybe new formats promoting diversity and inclusion, wider acceptance too, through schools and universities.
How will the tech change the experience for players and viewers?
Well, VRR means deeper immersion, maybe even physical interaction in some games. AI means smarter opponents in practice, better analysis tools during broadcasts.
And cloud gaming.
That just lowers the barrier to entry. Play high-end games on almost any device. Huge for accessibility.
VR seems like a potential game changer.
It could be. Imagine competing in fully virtual worlds. Totally new kinds of tournaments.
And this tech impacts event organization too.
Definitely. Better streaming platforms, more data for optimizing events, social media and apps for building community, maybe even VRR experiences for fans at the venue.
It feels like it's moving from a niche hobby to something much bigger.
It already has, really. It's becoming a global, professionalized discipline, a serious part of the entertainment world.
We've covered so much ground starting up, growing, the tech, the future. But there's one last piece, work enjoyment. Why is that so important here? It sounds like fun already.
But work enjoyment is more than just fun. It's about autonomy, the workplace environment, managing stress. Crucial factors.
And why focus on it in esports?
Because the benefits are real. Our sources say higher motivation, fewer sick days, better productivity. In a high-pressure industry like esports, that's vital for long-term success and sustainability.
Okay, so what actually contributes to work enjoyment based on the sources?
They list about 8 things. Autonomy, having control over your work. Challenge and growth learning, stepping up. Good relationships, collaboration, connection. Appreciation and feedback, feeling valued, getting guidance. Work-life balance, having time for life outside work. Meaningful work, feeling like what you do matters, fits you.
Right.
And also taking breaks, relaxing, and managing stress effectively. Identifying stressors and having coping strategies.
So how can people or organizations actually increase work enjoyment in this demanding field?
Well, individuals can try to shape their jobs a bit, focus on tasks they like or are good at, celebrate successes, big or small, acknowledge achievements.
Boost morale.
Yeah, develop a growth mindset, see challenges as learning opportunities. And create a healthy mental workspace, useless routines, reduce mental clutter.
Practical tips.
For individuals and maybe for managers to encourage, too.
This has been incredibly thorough. We've gone from the spark of an idea right through to building a successful, sustainable, and hopefully enjoyable esports venture.
Yeah, it's a complex picture. The opportunities are definitely there for people passionate about games and business, but it needs that strategic, informed approach.
Absolutely. It covers so many bases.
It really does.
So to wrap up, here's something for you, the listener, to think about. With esports evolving so quickly, becoming more professional, more technologically advanced, how critical is that blend? How might focusing equally on cutting-edge innovation and genuine employee well-being be the absolute key to training the most sustainable, most successful esports ventures in the years ahead?
A lot to chew on there.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.